Allen.
Here.
Mr. Mitchell here. Mr. Taylor.
Present.
Have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. This meeting starts at 5:11. And the superintendent went by order of the candidate's last name. So our first candidate tonight is Marletta Seeds. So if you would open Marletta Seeds' package, we can get into the PC a little later.
Oh, pretty much. Just in your mouth.
I didn't think she was coming. So you guys have to you know,
So Secretary Gully's just came to the door, so we'll just wait just a second if you will, Ms. Seeds. So Trustee Gully, we just took roll call and started the meeting. What I put in front of you is Ms. Marletta Seeds' letter of intent to run for the board. Chair has the 10 questions, so we're going to start. Good afternoon, Mrs. Seeds. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Chair.
So does the board need a second just to read Ms. Seeds' letter of intent? Just 1 second. Are we ready to start questions? So we have 10 questions. We'll try to see if we can reach through all of the questions. If not, we'll get to what we can. We'll start with Mr. Mitchell. You have question number 1.
Good evening.
Why are you interested in serving on the Board of Education?
Because of the experience that I've had and the background that I have, I've been in county government for 12 years, and this is the end of my tenure, serving as a county commissioner, and prior to that, 32 years in BHAS Corporation. 14 of those years I was in quality control, and another 4 years I was a quality manager at a corporation in Niles that worked for the federal government, which made parts for A&M General. So I have some background skills, and I'm interested in kids and education. I've also spent some volunteer time with a parent university here over the last probably 4 to 5 years. And so kids are not our future, but kids are our present. So I'm interested in education period. I've been here since '72, formerly from Dowagiac, Michigan, and my family was very high on education, and I'm still high on education as far as this area is concerned. I'm concerned about the future of the education within our area school system. So that's one of the reasons. Thank you, Richard.
Have you ever served on a board or been in a leadership role in an organization?
Yes, several. I currently serve on what we call Southwest Michigan Community Action Agency. I was the secretary for 8 years on that agency. I also served at 911 as far as the operational systems is concerned. Also served on Southwest Michigan Planning Commission. Also served on the Michigan Association of Counties Economic Taxation Committee. I've also chaired the zoning committee at the state level. I also am trying to remember all the boards and commissions that I served on, and it's almost 12 boards and commissions across the state that I served on over a period of time. So I chaired the Personnel and Human Services Committee at the county. I've also served as vice chair of the Board of County Commissioners. I also serve presently as the vice chair of the Administration Committee. So yes, ma'am, I have served on several boards and commissions and have been trained extensively on parliamentary procedure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Can I ask a clarifying question? And because I'm unfamiliar with Community Action Agency.
Yes, go ahead.
Now, what is it? What does the Community Action Agency do?
Southwest Michigan Community Action Agency is located in downtown Benton Harbor, and it's a tri-county agency that serves people who have needs within the community. We pay rent, we serve food, we have commodities, we have a warehouse in Benton Harbor, we do rehabilitation, we do weatherization. So they've been doing that, and I've been on that for 10 years. So they were doing it long before I even became on board.
Thank you. I don't know why I'm familiar with that. Okay, of all the things that you listed that you served in, what was the most satisfying part about that service?
The most satisfying part is because I've been able to assist people. I've been able to learn, and I think the most gratifying is when you're able to see the outcomes. I believe in incomes and outcomes, because based on quality control, I believe on whatever you put in is what you get out. And I've seen some good outcomes by helping and serving people. And I think when you serve in a public position, you become a servant to the community, and I enjoy serving. And learning has been one of my most valuable. I learn what the people need, and I try to adjust my belief system to what the people actually need, and then try to adjust it to what's absolutely necessary at that particular time, respectfully.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What characteristics do you have for the benefit of us?
I think I'm an active listener. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Secretary Doug.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
What characteristics do you have for the benefit of us?
I'm an active listener. I've learned to listen over a period of time. I have a program that I deal with women, and that program has helped me to learn what the needs of those children are. And so I think some of the certifications that I have in quality control, I write policies. I was a quality manager for, like I said, a major corporation that was certified through the federal government and through ISO, because I write policies, I read policies, I amend policies. So I think that's one of the things, and policy is a key to a good organization. So I do bring that benefit. And then also I have several certifications. I'm a trainer, I'm a diversity trainer, I train the trainer. I'm also a recovery coach trainer. And then I'm a trainer for professional presentation skills. So over a period of years, I've certified myself to become broad enough to deal with the public. Thank you.
So I'm gonna refer back to question number 4, so I'll take you back just 1 second. And so it states, what did you find frustrating about that service? And that service was, the previous question was, what was the most satisfying part about the service? And so this question is, what did you find frustrating about that service?
So far, the only thing I found frustrating about service provided is timeliness. Sometimes when people have a need and you can't meet that need in a timely fashion, that becomes frustrating. And lack of resources also becomes a frustrating part of any service provision. So most of the boards and commission I've served on, that's been the most frustrating, is if we didn't have enough adequate resources, or we had to go through the bureaucracy or the time frame of going through paperwork. But most of the time, it's more satisfaction than it is frustrating, because people understand that a lot of things do take time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mitchell?
What do you view as the role of a school board member?
A school board member is just like any other board member of the school board. Members should support policies and the bylaws of the board for the school that they serve, or the region that they serve. They should support the staff, and they should support all the goals that they've laid out for themselves. So I think, you know, a board member should be not a day-to-day operational person, but a school board member is somebody who supports what goals you've already set out, and be supportive of each other, be respectful to the community and to the needs of the school. So I think that's one of the roles that I think board members should do, and support exactly what the budget is. You should be sensitive to what the needs of the budget are. Thank you.
How would people with whom you work describe you?
How would people, honest, non-judgmental, serious, yet have a good sense of humor, professional, studious, straightforward. Thank you.
Okay. What would the ideal school board look like?
The ideal school board would look like people who respect each other, respectful, people who understand that people have a right to disagree. You know, there's a saying, wise men disagree and fools fall out. So I think a school board should look like, to the general public, respectful of people when they're talking and speaking and even disagreeing, and then making sure that even body language means a lot to the public. So I think the school board is just a respectful body of people who respect what the school stands for and what the public's needs are, and even their complaints, because every time a person makes a statement, it's not necessary to disagree. It could be a concern. Thank you.
Secretary, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are your individual goals as a school board member?
My individual goals is to see Benton Harbor High School, one of the best schools in this area. My son graduated from Benton Harbor High School. My grandson and my granddaughter love the Tigers. And the goal would be for Benton Harbor High School to be that high school when I used to visit in the 60s. I did skip school one time from the Tech, and it was the ultimate just to come to Benton Harbor High School. It was, everybody wanted to be a Tiger. Everybody was intimidated by Benton Harbor High School. You had the best athletes. You had some of the greatest people graduate from Benton Harbor High School that went on, and they're prominent in the United States and their name is well known. I would love to see Benton Harbor High School increase in students. And I'd like to see Benton Harbor gain that respect back and that they've had and that they will deserve. That's what I want to see.
So last question for tonight. And it states, what questions do you have for the Board of Education?
That's probably the hardest question because I don't have one. I really don't have one. I've observed the board when I was able to come. I see progress in the board. I see, even what's happening within the newspaper articles. I see a different level of respect for each other. And I don't have any question other than can you continue to do what you all have started and continue to stay in the vein that you started? And can you continue to do that? And can you keep the vision that you have for this area? Can you do that? And can you agree to disagree and then continue to show the public that you're growing and you're going over and not going under?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you all so much for this opportunity.
So at this time, Superintendent Walker is going to take you back, and we're going to bring the other candidate.
You just grab one.
Well, Mrs. Stokes.
Hi.
So I'm going to give the board just a small moment of time just to get your letter of introduction first, and then we're going to have 10 questions for you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. everyone ready? So, good afternoon, and we'll have 10 questions tonight for you, starting with Mr. Mitchell. Question number 1.
Good evening. So, why are you interested in running or serving on the Board of Education?
Well, I wanted to become involved in my community. We've lived here over 21 years, and I've often thought of doing something, being a mentor or a big sister. And I thought maybe this would be a start to that for me.
Thank you.
Have you ever served on a board or been in a leadership role in an organization?
No, I don't think being in charge of my daughter's brownie would count. So no, I've never served on an official board.
It counts, believe me. Okay, so I guess I'm getting the answer to my question, because what was the most satisfying? Well, you can answer what was the most satisfying part of your service doing the brownies with your daughter.
Making sure I had her cupcakes ready, because, you know, the teacher with her was always, you know, Mom, teacher said, so it had to be done. So it was fun spending time.
Thank you.
And my question is, in regards to the Brownie support, what did you find frustrating about that service?
It's always frustrating if you're dealing with children and adults. But, you know, you just have to go through it. I mean, you have to do it. She's my daughter, and I had the other little girls, and you had 10 different personalities, and so it's always frustration, but it's always a good first step.
Thank you.
Hi. So, ma'am, what characteristics do you have that would benefit the Board of Education?
Oh, I work well with people. I'm not afraid to ask for help if things that I don't know. And although I haven't served on a committee or board per se, I don't think that you necessarily have to be good friends with each other to do that. I do think you have to respect each other and, you know, be able to come to some agreement among yourselves.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stokes, what do you view as the role of a school board member?
I think the role of the school board member is to have the best interest of the student and their care.
Thank you.
How would people with whom you work with describe you?
Probably a little sassy at times, but very easygoing, nice person. And I usually think for myself. I mean, not that I'm overly opinionated, but if I have an opinion and I think it's right, you'll have to, you know, show me where I'm wrong.
What would the ideal school board look like?
Other than being made up of humans, men and women, I don't see that it needs to be special people. I just think it needs to be made up of people who genuinely actually care about students. They don't have their own agenda. They have students their well-being.
What are your individual goals as a school board member?
I'm not sure how to answer that, since I don't know what I would be doing, but, just to help in any way I can. I'm not, I certainly don't know what I'm doing. I've never done it before. But I think I could learn to do it and do it well.
So last question, Mrs. Stubbs.
Okay.
What questions do you have for the board?
I'm wondering what some of your experiences has been on board.
Okay, so I'll start first then.
Okay.
My experience is 5 years now. Next year will be 6. And so when I got on the board, I was a newbie, right? Never served, frustrated. Sometimes I would fight a little too hard, so to speak. So
Yeah.
sometimes that when I was speaking, people were not hearing me.
Right.
But when I spoke in the correct way, then they said, "Oh man, we understand." And I'm like, "Well, I said that time." So I had to understand how to lead and to be heard in the right way.
Right.
And to be respectful and mindful, because I did butt heads sometimes with board members, right? But at the end of the day, I had to come to a resolution of we had to get the job done
Right.
for the benefit of the community and students. So that's my experience.
Very nice.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
I wanted to know what your experience has been serving on the board.
Since I've been on the board, it's been very challenging. I came in new, not having been on the board, having run for city offices, but I had a passion to get it right because I saw how our education system was dwindling and how we had people in leadership that only seemed to care about their paychecks, didn't really care about the children, and I wanted to change that. And it's still a struggle. We don't often see eye to eye, but we have built a bond with one another. And just growing to understand that level of differences of opinion and trying to work through all that, it can get hard at times. So it's not an easy job,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I signed up for it, I'm here to do it. And it's just a lot of things with consent agreement, and we're under state control. So there are a lot of influences from the outside that we have no control over, and that control a lot of what directions we're in. So that's the frustrating part about being a board, because you really have no say. And people do what they want to do based on their checks, and whatever the agenda is for the state. So that's the part that I find difficult, because, it is about the children. However, that's not often displayed,
Right.
even right now with this leadership. So it's very frustrating for me.
Thank you.
I am the longest serving board member on here, although not quite the oldest. I was a redhead when I started. And there have been ups and downs, good things and bad. I'm a retired veterinary teacher, so this has really been in my soul to fight the kids, because there are things that I saw as a teacher that I want to see changed. But I think you also have to realize that, at least I did, there are some things you end up doing you didn't think you'd ever do.
Right.
And one of those that I did, because we had pressure from the state and under consent agreement, was to privatize secretaries. And I swore down I would never privatize secretaries. And then they think too in here and say you need to privatize secretaries.
Right.
Sometimes you get pushed into doing things that you would prefer not to do. But you try to look at the bigger picture of the long road we had. And so it is, there are days that are tough and there are days that are very, very rewarding.
Right.
And it's cool to, when it's going well, to see the kids benefit from what we're doing.
Thank you.
I'm a retired veterinary teacher, taught in the district for 34 years, was president of the Teachers Association. So it was interesting for me to come from that perspective. to sit on the other side. And I wanted kids to be the main focus. Having been in this district for so long, I saw superintendents coming out, policies started, policies thrown out, lots of waste, lots of poor decisions, and things just never trickled down to me in the classroom.
Yeah.
And I wanted, to change that. I want things to trickle down. It's the kids, that are the most important. And,
Yeah.
teachers that are doing. So it's been a learning experience for me.
Yeah.
I'm interested and frustrated, but that's what it is.
Perhaps for me, since Michael pointed at me as an older, so I'll take that on. I probably have the most senior sitting around.
Just
But,
barely.
for the past 2 years, I've been on the board, and this is perhaps the best non-paying job that I've ever had. So I enjoy my work here. I spent 34 years here on staff and on payroll, so I graduated with elementary and high school here, so been hard schools has kind of been in my soul for my entire life. So I came down to see what I could do to right the ship and make sure it stays on course. So we do need the help and ambitions and strengths from a lot of good people. That's why.
Thank you, ma'am. So Dr. Walker, if you can get the seats. Okay, so Board of Education, we have the two candidates back at the podium. And based on our policy, this year we transferred all policies. We had old and antiquated policies from like the 70s and up. So with our new Neola policy, our past policies, we used to do vote and number system. Our new policy, we vote with roll call. Okay. And so tonight we're gonna vote right now. Because we had to fill this position, I think it's by Saturday, if I'm right? The 17th, the timeline. And so if it's not filled, then it goes to Mayor Luisa by law. Okay, so the law takes over and they fill the position for you. So we wanted to do that tonight. And I don't know if the board, did you need 5 minutes to deliberate, or are you ready to choose your candidate?
What does the delivery entail? We just haven't looked
Yeah, it has to be open. If not, based on what you heard tonight from our two candidates, you can make a motion. The motion,
Well, we have two.
Point of order.
she's just, so I didn't see it, so we have two staff reports, and the staff reports are on the PC, right? So we have a staff report for A, a staff report for B. You know, in those staff reports, those are just the names of the candidates based on the staff report. So if you open up and look in your staff reports, it's just a staff report for one for Marlena Seeds, and the other for Mrs. Stokes.
I'm getting there. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm not getting that.
Okay. Oh, okay. We'll do A or Marlena.
Yeah, you have to go to the
Then we have
agenda.
to go to the-
That's what I'm trying to-
Yeah.
Question about that. Come on, here.
Just one moment, ladies, sorry about that.
There should be a question on here about how good are you at helping other workers with computers.
So they're the same motions, they just have different names.
Yeah, that's.
So if you choose to make a motion for A, that would be that for that person. If you choose to make a motion for B, that would be for that person.
They must have put them the same one twice.
So Board of Education, since we have two motions tonight, each motion has the candidate's name on it. So motion, this is motion A, is Marlena Seeds. Motion B is Mrs. Stokes. So it's up to the board which motion you want to bring forward for a vote. We have two motions.
There's a mistake.
Which one is that? B?
Yeah.
I don't see what you mean, Tom, on B. Yep, that's that right here. Oh, yeah, that's a typo. So it's on the recommended action.
I would like to make a motion that that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education accepts by majority vote Marletta seats to the vacant position on the school board to term that lasts through December 2018.
May I have a second?
Second.
Motion moved by Secretary Gullik, supported by Trustee Mitchell. Secretary, I'm sorry, are there any questions or comments concerning the motion? If not, Secretary Gullik, call the roll.
Angela Gower,
No.
Martha Maloney,
No.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Lisa Gully, yes. Mr. Taylor.
Yes. So the vote is 3-2, with 5 members. I know that, the rules are that we have to have a 2/3 vote. And so from MASB standpoint,
Well, I thought this question might come up tonight.
Yep.
So I did have our legal counsel send me an email as to what we need for the vote. And according to Brad Vanasek, it says, it's just real short, so I'll just read it. The issue implicates the statutory provision of the revised school code requiring a majority vote of board members for a valid act of the board. Section 1201, paragraph 1 of the revised school code, in addition to requiring the business of the board to be conducted in a public meeting in compliance with the Open Meeting Act, states, an act of the board shall not be valid unless voted at a meeting by a majority vote of the members elected and serving on the board, and a proper record be made of the vote. And so according to my conversation with Brad, because there are only currently 5 board members serving, 3 votes is what it takes to have a vote.
Thank you, Deb.
sorry,
The
thank you.
time when we went into closed session, it was based on the 7 rather than. Right.
I don't know, that was Barbara Luger from my good friend attorney's office, but
And so then all votes should have been, since you're now 5, should have been based on 3-2. It does, you know, because it's always been 4 votes, I just, I know she's read it.
right,
I just-
right. And it was 4
Took me
votes
getting-
with 7 board members, so I don't know what that changed.
We were already, you know, last week we were told that we still have to vote as though they're supposed to be 7. So we got conflicting opinions from attorneys.
Well, that's why I defer to the Student Association of School Boards since she's here tonight.
Oh, remember that we always advise you to get legal advice from your own counsel, but that's why legal counsel on the SB advises.
But the law, so there's no differentiation in that. I mean, some people would favor the law to support their opinions at that time. However, we do have legal opinions, so we can move forward.
But my concern is we're just not consistent.
That's not something we should be concerned with. We should ask the attorney with, Clark Hill, why aren't they consistent with the law?
Well, I think tonight we have Truman here as well. But that's for a closed session, correct? He's coming. Okay, so right now, we put in a motion in the second, and there's a 3-2 vote. And I think the motion stands at this time until you get one.
Okay, because as I say, you know,
But at the same time, you have to fill this position. You have 4 more days left before you get sent to bear and recess. Mr. Mitchell?
I'm just saying, if that's the case, and none of our votes on a 3-2 issue or whatever issue isn't the law, then we shouldn't be here sitting until January. And if that's the case, that's what I'm pleading. Get me out of this cold, not go home.
No, don't go home. So I want to thank you guys for coming. But at this time, I don't know what we need to.
Did, Brad reference an MCL And that email, that notification that he sent to you?
He just stated revised school code section 1201, paragraph 1. So, again, you know, it was, his email was to me so that, you know, the question I had asked.
All right, thank you.
So I still think you should talk to her.
Yeah. Just make sure.
So,
So we have, our attorneys are coming in at what time today? At 6 o'clock, so we can post a question. No, we'll do it next week. So if you guys just hang out and stay, and, because whomever it may be, then we'll swear you in tonight.
So for now, should we recess this meeting so we can come back to it? Or do we just need to, because if the legal people is different, then we get a whole other thing. So if you recess it, then we'll go right back to it.
Because you can still go back to the vote, you can still revote.
so then we will dispute everything for us not execution. That's not being back, correct?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm not understanding why one week it was one thing and the next week it's a different. Why there's a difference in the number of votes that you have to have. Because that was at first was our understanding last week was, you know, because it was based on 7. And there was, you know, subjects that we couldn't discuss because we didn't have a majority of 5.
Right, but I think she spoke about, well, we can't speak about that because it's closed session.
Well, yeah,
It is pertaining to certain matters where you needed a certain amount of people versus other matters you didn't.
But I think we thought it was based upon 5. Majority vote of 5, rather than the majority vote of 7, and then we were told it would be the majority vote of 7. So I just, I really like that clarification. I mean, just so we know we're doing the right thing. Sure, we hate to swear somebody in and find out we did it wrong.
No, that's okay. I think if it's the board, wish to proceed with the vote, we'll do so. If not, we'll, recess until our attorneys get back. Second question, and bring it back with our attorney. Okay? Thank you. So if you guys could, wait around, we're gonna get ready to start, the next board meeting here in 1 minute. Okay? Thank you. We have a motion to close the special meeting.
Motion to close the meeting.
Meeting closed at 6 p.m.